Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be covering the express entry route to Canada in 5 simple steps. Yes, I said it, 5 simple steps. I'm making the process as simplified as possible because this is something that can be really intimidating, but it's really not as intimidating as it appears. Now, before I get started today, I just want to encourage you to click that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and ring off the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post new content right here on this channel. Now, you'll probably notice too that I'm wearing this headband. I'm feeling so Afrocentric today. I'm on my balcony. If you haven't already watched my balcony episode, please go and go watch it. It is extremely fun. It showed how I was able to transform my balcony from the most unattractive space to a tropical paradise that I've called Jamaica. So whenever I'm bored, whenever I'm stressed, whenever I want to go back home and COVID will not allow me to fly back to Jamaica, I just come right out here on my balcony. So check out that episode. Just so you know, everything I'm going to be covering today is actually elaborated on in my book, Backing Up and Moving to Canada 101, an experiential guide from pre-application to settling in as a newcomer to Canada. So you can go on Amazon. It's available in both paperback and Kindle options. Whichever you prefer, please go and support. So step 1, very simple. 2 things. 1, you need to register to get your language test done, as well as to have your credentials assessed. Now let's get into the details with that. So for your language test, you can either do the IELTS exam or the CELPIP exam. The IELTS is IELTS and the CELPIP is CELPIP. CELPIP has always been computer-based, but IELTS was initially paper-based. But given the pandemic, IELTS has moved to either the paper option or the computer option. So whichever you prefer, but book it quickly. One thing I can tell you from experience, I waited probably 6 or more months before I was able to get my IELTS exam because dates go by so fast. Now for the educational credential assessment report, you have the option of selecting one of a number of designated bodies approved by IRCC. I went with ICAS. It did take a little too long for me to get my report, to be very honest with you, but I was pleased with the service. So when you have your language test completed, as well as your ECA report, you're in a position now to enter the pool. So that brings me to step 2. Now you're entering the pool, but one thing that you're going to have to consider is what is called your NOC code. That's the National Occupational Classification. The thing is this, that has always been puzzling for everyone. I think my very first video that I did, that Q&A, I did kind of speak a little bit about that. With the NOC code though, you will often find that there are codes that are well suited to your profession, and that's fine. For me, I had a couple of options that I could have used, but I looked for one that best suited. I did that because I know that a key part of the processing of your application will hinge on you actually proving that you have the experience in the area that you're claiming to have the experience in. And if your job letter doesn't substantiate that claim, you get joke. So to enter the pool at that point, you note the NOC code that you're going to use, you note your result from the language test, as well as the outcome from your ECA report, and you fill the details in and you try to enter the pool. At that point, there is some amount of gatekeeping and you'll know if you're eligible or not. I mentioned in my book that initially when I filled my information in, I made a huge mistake with my NOC code at that time and I was deemed ineligible. I had to start over the process all over again, and of course when I put the information in correctly, I was eligible and I was tossed right into the pool. And as soon as the next draw came up, I was selected. Be patient and wait while you're in the pool. Recently, there have been more or less of a lag between draws, but that provides you with the opportunity to actually focus on what you may need to do if your scores aren't as impressive. I'm going to go and tell you some of the scores this year, but what I can tell you is one key thing I encourage persons to do is to learn French. Most persons applying aren't fluent in French. I only know a few words in French like oui, is it oui? Oui, no, oui, bonjour. I don't know if I know anything else. Anyways, long and short of it is that you have some time to get yourself prepared. There have been jobs that I've seen that I've not been able to apply because there are requirements for bilingualism, and I'm not bilingual. Canada's official languages are English and French. I only speak English, so that puts me at a disadvantage. Use this time while you're waiting to see if you can strengthen your French speaking skills, and you should be good to go. Canada is well below its established immigration target for 2020. The first draw was January 8th, and the cutoff score was 473. That's 473. The second draw was on January 22nd, and the score dropped a bit to 471, which was kind of good news. For February 5th, the cutoff score was 472, and then that dropped a bit for February 19 to 470. And then by the 4th of March, it went a little bit higher to 471. But then, of course, COVID-19 took over the scene, and the next draw after that March 4th draw was on the 8th of July, and that score was a whopping 478. Unprecedented, never been seen before, higher than even my good score. The last draw as at today, and I'm recording this on the 22nd of August, I really don't know when I'm going to post it. So I'm going to record it right now. So anyways, as at today, the last draw was on the 5th of August, and the score was 476. So the scores have been really high this year, but I do still feel optimistic because of the fact that we are so far below the targets that were set for 2020. For step 4, and I'm gonna keep my iPad on right now because I don't want to miss anything here. I actually sent myself an email with everything I want to talk about. All right, so for step 4, you're gonna have to gather all your documents. Let's say you've been invited to apply. You will have 60 days. I don't know if anything is gonna change, as I said, with all that's happening, but you would have 60 days to upload all the necessary documents that you need to upload. And so you're going to need to, one, gather proof of education. Whatever it is that you're claiming as your level of education, you have to have proof of that. Get those documents in hand, scan the documents, and start uploading. Whatever you have, as soon as you get it in hand, upload it. Another thing that you want to upload quickly is your language exam results, because you'd have had that months before, right? So upload that information as well as your ECA report. Of course, you need to have your passport ready. Have that scanned. You should probably have scanned that, like, I should probably have said that in step 1, that you scan these things, right? So you gather your passport. You also need to look at the exact dimensions for your passport photograph. That's going to be in your good book for when you land and them open up your book and them see that you are in fact supposed to be landing as a permanent resident in Canada. Yes. So you have to have your employment letters from whichever company or companies you would have indicated as getting the experience that you're claiming with that NOC code. What I'll say to you is, remember that you're not just going to get a letter saying that you have how many years experience with them, what position you're in, salary. Yes, those things are going to be included in the letter, but you also have to make sure that the duties that are listed within the letter align with the NOC code that you are applying to say that that's your area. Now, that's very, very key. You have to make sure that whatever it is that you claim as your NOC code is substantiated within these job letters that you're putting forward in your application. Now, you have to do your medical examination. There are designated physicians. You would have to look to see the ones closest to you. You wouldn't just go to your family doctor. You also need to have your police certificate, because nobody wants a criminal in their country, so you have to get that done. Finally, you'll need to show proof of funds. So you need a letter or letters from whichever banking institutions you use showing that you have the settlement funds. You can go on my Instagram page, Moving to Canada 101, in order to find the details for the number of family members from 1 person to about 6, I think I list. But for the purpose of this quick video, I'll just tell you, as at January 2020, the settlement funds for this year. Now, if you're traveling by yourself, you're a single person, you don't have wife and children or husband and children back home, you're the only person, the settlement funds right now stand at 12,960 Canadian dollars. Now, of course, remember, you're not giving IRCC this money. This is just to prove that you're able to maintain yourself if you should come to Canada and let's say you don't have a job, right? Now, if you're moving as a couple, the amount would be $16,135. The key thing I want you to bear in mind is the fact that you can't just claim it's one person and you're married with children back home. You're gonna have to account for your other family members, so bear that in mind, all right? As I said, you can visit my Instagram page to keep up on those details. It's Moving to Canada 101. Finally, step 5, fill out the information, upload all these documents that I mentioned, pay your fees, and allow the process to take its course. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the processing time ranged from 4 months to 6 months. I don't know the length of time it will take now because everything is just so new to everyone. But at that point, your application will be processed and you'll get further details in that golden email, as it is popularly called. Now, of course, if you have any additional questions, feel free to put it down in the comment section. As I said before, please click that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring off the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post new content right here on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.